Yo, welcome to episode 10 of the Coffee Table Podcast. I am Jay Jack, one of your co-hosts, and my trusty pal,
Skip Bayless.
Funky Cole Medina, in the building. As you can see, he's draped out in his Cowboys attire. He must be happy that somebody got signed.
Hey, listen, man. All I'm gonna say is this, and I know that everyone knows this meme. Dak rolled into work the day after that, said, "Y'all better bring me my money."
Crazy.
He got his bag finally, man, and we're gonna talk about it later because I'm happy.
Yes, sir. We'll get into that a little bit later. We got Louis Gaddis coming on. Sweet Lou is coming on to bless us, man. And we're gonna have him this week and next week when we do our basically do our brackets for March Madness. See what's happening, what's popping, yeah, we'll talk about a couple things with him today too, and just kind of get his take on some stuff and go from there. Lou's gonna be like a kind of like that special guest for the next couple episodes. So stay tuned.
He'll be a co-host. Co-host. Yeah, but anyways, you know how we always start this show off, right?
Yes, indeed.
By the way, I love your mug, Coach.
You mean my chalice?
Black is beautiful.
You like
and
that?
By the way, before we forget, it was Monday, but happy International Women's Day to all those beautiful women out there.
Yes, because if it wasn't for you,
we would not be here. Exactly.
You know, you don't get enough credit, man. But
no, sir. And everyone, you know, everyone's got that special someone in their life. Everyone's got that mom in their life. Everything, you know.
Yep.
Let them know happy International Women's Day to you. We appreciate you more than you think.
Yes. We're terrible at showing it sometimes, but we definitely do.
Exactly. Exactly.
And if it wasn't, and we can't live without you. As much as people try to act like they can, we can't. But thank you for the shout out with my cup here. You know,
Coach. Anytime.
Black is beautiful. We hate it on a lot these days, but it
is.
But what else is new? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And you know how the expression goes, right? In your case, they hate us because they ain't us. That's what they say.
You know, I don't even know if it's that. You know, I mean, I think some are very nervous that their situations aren't what their situations have been forever. So that ruffles some feathers and get some people kind of uptight. But whatever.
But listen, man, the nice thing about this podcast is it doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter where you've been. It doesn't matter if you're male or female. It doesn't matter your gender, your religion, nothing. We treat everyone equal here on the Coffee Table.
Absolutely. We just try to speak our truths and have a good time. So,
and by the way, before I forget, the Coffee Table Podcast is brought to you by the Crow's Nest Barbershop. And by the way, shout out to Frank the Barber, man. You're opening up your first salon coming up soon. You announced it on your Instagram story. Congrats. Businessman, business mogul. Listen, I know I had a conversation with Frank a couple weeks ago, like last week when he was doing that whole, you know, his Instagram story. He's like, getting up early, stop getting up at 8 or 9, you know, all this stuff. And I said, listen, man, I said, that's inspiration I need to hear. I went out and I killed that week. I got an A on my final project.
There it is.
Because this man, you know, got me motivated. I sat out there and I worked all my morning and busted my butt off on a project.
Shout out Frank the Barber. Shout out Frank the Barber. That's my guy. And I mean, he just had something the other day. I was trying to get my boys in for haircuts. I guess he was like giving free haircuts out. Frank's just a dude, man. So
give him free, and I didn't get that memo. Shit.
Yeah, that was on Facebook or whatever. He had put up a post trying to get some heads to cut. I don't know if he had other barbers cutting or what, but it's just kind of promoting his new shop that he has, you know, the salon.
Listen, man, Frank, you want to talk about a down-to-earth good guy, man. It starts with Frank the Barber. He's a good dude. Yeah. Great dude, nice guy.
Yes. Shout out Frank the Barber. You know, and yeah, man, I'm happy. I'm happy for him, man. He's making big things happen. And I was telling him the other day, I was like, man, he got like 4 or 5 Luka rookies. I'm like, you should be a millionaire. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, you know what? I'm gonna get him a guitar. He can start singing like Bruno Mars. I want to be a billionaire, so freaking bad.
Crazy. Hey, so let's get to it, man. Let's get to it.
Rookie watch to start off, right? We didn't have any RIPs this week, not that I'm aware of. If we missed one, please let us know in the comments or Instagram DM, and we will get it next week. Yes. For sure. We do have a happy birthday though. Washington native My vote for most improved player of the year as of right now, Zach LaVine. Happy 26th birthday. You're killing it this year.
Did you say Washington native?
I did. Isn't he a Washington native?
He is a Washington native. He is from the state of Washington.
And that means
bring back our Sonics. I don't know how long you're going to disrespect my town and my city and not bring back my Sonics. Shout out Zach LaVine. Happy birthday, bro. Happy to see him finally.
And by the way, in my opinion, there has not been a dunk contest or dunk champion the same since you've done it. We'll get into that later, by the way. But in my opinion, you're still the dunk contest winner because there has not been one as impressive as yours. That's my opinion.
Zach LaVine, man, shout out to that guy, man. Works extremely hard, and man, he's from the town, you know. So it's just a beautiful thing for me. He's from my town, I should say, you know.
Exactly.
So,
and another quick,
and much respect to him because he deserved that All-Star bid. I'm glad he got in.
Exactly. And another quick shout out, and this time to a Black coach. Shout out to Juwan Howard. It was announced yesterday that he won the Big Ten Coach of the Year.
Okay.
For Michigan.
Good for Juwan Howard, man. They took a L to Michigan State, but you know how that goes, you know.
That's a rivalry, man. That's one of those rivalries where anyone can win that game.
For Illinois recently, but I mean, come on, you know, he handled a good thing. Let's see. You think they'll get a first? You think they get a first place?
No. See, I haven't done my research on college basketball yet this year, and personally, I've always been an Ohio State guy, so I've never picked Michigan anytime. I've never rooted for Michigan. Who knows what they could do? I don't know if Michigan has it. I'm interested to see what team is our Cinderella story team this year. Though. I'm really interested to see what happens, man. I think it's going to be fun to watch.
I think Michigan deserves a first seed.
See, but the thing is, there's pressure that comes with a first seed, right? If I'm Michigan, I want to be a 2 or 3 seed because you have the pressure to do well, but you don't have the pressure to be one of those teams that's there at the end. When you have a 1 seed, there's this weight on your shoulders of you can't disappoint. Like, look at Virginia. The year that they lost to the 16 seed, they had the pressure of being a 1 seed on their shoulders.
Yeah, well, you know what? That's the price of fame. You know what I'm saying? You win all those games, you're the number 1 seed, and you play against the number 16 seed, you got to win that game. Pressure, no pressure. I mean. And
by the way, might I add, that year, I picked Virginia to win the whole thing. I've never done that again.
Blew your bracket right out. Blew the
break. I was watching it in the college dorm, and I walk in and I go, all right. I go, my bracket's about as done as a freaking steak on a barbecue, and that was about it. That was my bracket done right there.
That's a hard hit, bro.
And I've never picked Virginia since, ever.
Was that after they won the championship or before?
That was the year before, and then the year they won the championship, everyone said, oh, they're going to do it this year. I said, I don't care. I picked them out to the Elite and they won the championship.
They had you hot about it, huh?
I said, I don't care. Same thing this year. Virginia gets the 1 seed. I don't care. Y'all are getting out in the Elite 8 in my bracket. I'm not running that risk again.
They don't deserve 1 seed. But hey, go ahead, man. With that rookie watch.
Rookie watch. I have one name for you.
You sipping on H2O?
Yeah. What are you sipping on?
Some of that good H2O.
H2O.
Mm-hmm.
So rookie watch. I have one name for you. LaMelo Ball. Leader in points per game, assists per game, rebounds per game, and steals per game amongst all rookies.
Not even close.
Not even close. And all I'm going to say is this. Boy, did we pick him wrong.
Man, I don't know why I didn't go with LaMelo. I mean, I knew he was.
Listen, I saw a quote somewhere that said, LaMelo Ball was what we and LeVar thought Lonzo Ball was going to be.
See, I didn't think Lonzo Ball was going to be all that. But I remember his pop saying LaMelo is going to be the best out of all of them. He wasn't lying. And, I mean, the fact that the cat grew to be 6'8", 6'7", 6'8", I mean, that changed the whole game.
Right. And, hey, at least thank God that LeVar didn't say anything about LiAngelo because that would have came back to bite him.
Well, he was talking about he was going to be this guy. You know, he put faith and stock in all his guys, man. And I'll tell you what, 2 out of 3 is pretty dang good, man.
Yeah, but Lonzo ain't a solid 2 though. He's an okay 2. But I get you.
Lonzo is holding his own in the league. Like Lonzo can get you 10, 10, and 10. Like
That's valid. Anyways.
At least he's going to get you 10, 10, and 10. He can. So I'm not.
I agree. Anyways.
I think put Lonzo up a little much, but I think Lonzo is going to be that type of player that just gets better within the next few years. I think you'll understand his worth a little
I
bit.
agree with you. I agree with you. Now, before we get into anything fun,
Mm-hmm.
we need to get into a serious topic. Myers Leonard.
Ooh.
Now, did you see the statement that Julian Edelman dropped?
I did not.
So this is what he posted on Instagram. First of all, for those of you who don't know, Myers Leonard basically said what people are calling as the K word. I'm not going to say it because I'm not that type of person. Y'all can look it up what you want it to be. Basically, it's an anti-Semitic slur while playing COD online. And I have a lot of Jewish friends. One of my best friends from high school is Jewish. Two other kids I know are half Jewish. And a girl that I know is half Jewish. And obviously, whether it was that or whether it was a black slur that we can imagine what could be said, it's not okay, especially coming from a white player in the NBA, especially when he plays for the only team that's owner is Jewish, by the way, the Miami Heat.
Ooh.
Right. Anyways, this is what Julian Edelman said, because y'all know Julian Edelman is Jewish. He goes this. On Instagram, he posts this, an open letter to Myers Leonard. So we've never met. I hope we can one day soon. I'm sure you've been getting lots of criticism for what you said. Not trying to add to that. I just want to offer some perspective. I get the sense that you didn't use that word out of hate, more out of ignorance. Not likely you weren't trying to hurt anyone or even profile Jews in your comment. That's what makes it so destructive. When somebody intends to be hateful, it's usually met with great resistance. Casual ignorance is hard to combat and has greater reach, especially when you command great influence. Hate is like a virus, even accidentally. It can rapidly spread. I'm down in Miami fairly often. Let's do a Shabbat dinner with some friends. I'll show you a fun time. J.E.
I saw that. I thought you were talking about Julius Randle.
No. I meant Julian Edelman. My bad.
No. And I'll tell you what, man. Shout out to Edelman for being the type of dude that he is and handling it the way that he's handling it. Like,
right.
What I like about how he's been doing it, man, is he's just been breaking bread with people and educating them on, nah, man, this is why this hurts. This is what it's about. And he did the same thing with Deshaun Jackson. So I just want to shout out Julian Edelman, man. Like, good for you. Because a lot of people wouldn't do that. He's being crucified for his comments, and rightfully so.
See, but here's the thing is like, there's this, and I know, Coach, you're not into this. And Wes, I don't know how much you are, but this is more like your kids' generation. There's this gaming culture, right? Where people, when they game, especially on live streams, don't necessarily have a filter. And these type of words pop up all the time. And obviously that's not okay, but that's neither here nor there. The point I'm trying to make is that when you hear that all the time, you may not necessarily know what it means. You might just say, like a little kid, you might just say something that you hear and repeat it.
Right.
But as a professional that Myers Leonard is, when you play in the NBA, and more importantly, when you play for the only team that has a Jewish owner, that can't fly.
No, absolutely not. And
I mean, it can't fly in any other situation, but especially in that situation.
Exactly. Hey, and I'm glad you said that, because the pass that I'm seeing, like I saw Shannon, Uncle Shannon.
Shay. Okay.
They go, hey, a lot of people try to go hard on Shannon, you know what I mean? And call him a racist. And, not that never mind that he sits across from a white man every day and, and another white co-host. But, a lot of people like to label him racist and blah, 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 whatever. He doesn't even sweat it. I don't sweat it. There's just a lot of angry people right now, man, that, are in their feelings for whatever reason and, I don't know how to describe it, but want to have excuses and, don't want to take any heat, or, I want to shift the heat to someone else, but whatever.
Right. But anyways.
But yeah, so he said what he said about Myles Leonard. It was like based on the flag or whatever, and people were going off. But so many comments I saw on there, people were like, man, on COD, people are mad at him for saying that. You should hear some of the stuff on COD. Like,
that was my point about the gaming culture, is like that word, the word that's derogatory towards Asians, the word that's derogatory
Oh
towards
yeah, I mean,
Americans. That gets dropped on. But the point that
but
people
why
realize is,
why is it okay? Like why is
first
it
of all, it's
act like
not
it's
okay.
not good?
It's not
Right.
okay. But the point that I'm trying to make
Yeah.
is that you're a professional.
Yes.
You can't be saying that as a professional.
I love that you're making that point because that's my point I was getting to next is the fact that you're a pro, you know, and have been known to be a good dude, man, like a great teammate. Like I haven't heard nothing bad about Miles Leonard.
Nothing.
Not up until this point of him saying what he said.
Right, but this is gonna kill his, because you were on Miami again with the only Jewish owner. He's not gonna like that. Miami said that he's not gonna play until further notice. He's like, or leave of absence indefinitely. That
Mhm.
he's probably gonna let him go.
Right.
And then what team is gonna want to pick him up?
Right.
The
It's gonna be
Utah
tough.
Jazz.
Go ahead, Fresh.
I said the Utah Jazz.
Yeah. People,
Are they
people are saying the Utah Jazz because of the whole Mormon thing, right?
Oh, I mean, Utah has a not great history with stuff like that.
Well, that
Yeah.
too. That too. That's the two reasons.
Right. Interesting. So is Miles Leonard, is he Mormon?
I don't know, but all I know is that the Utah Jazz, because everyone's saying that as a joke. They're like, oh, he'll go to the Utah Jazz because that's viewed as a. But you know, I want to correct that though, because the Utah Jazz, I understand that they have that reputation, but if it was really that bad, Donovan Mitchell, the activist that he is, would want to be traded from that team.
If he wouldn't have got 190 mil, I think he would have been ready.
Exactly. So I just want to clear the air on that.
I think I mean, when LeBron said what he said, I feel him. We never pick up the Utah. I mean, we can't stand the Utah Jazz. Even with great guys on this quad, I just don't like
But
Utah.
well, okay, well, you're from Seattle, so there's a reason for that. They were in your division. That was a rivalry.
Yeah, but I don't ever want them to win a championship just because they're the
Wow.
Utah. Sorry.
Just because the way that Utah is.
Yeah, I mean, but I went to Utah and had a ball. I thought Utah, who's that sweet Luke connected?
That's sweet Luke connected.
I went to Utah and had a ball.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
anyways, back to Miles Leonard, man. So the amount of people, I went down that rabbit hole, and the amount of people on there that make up excuses for Call of Duty and what people say and do on there is it's disgusting. Like I'm looking like these fools, really? So since what he said was minor compared to all the crazy stuff that's being said on Call of Duty, he should get a pass. None of them fools in Call of Duty should get a pass. When they're saying all that reckless, wild, racist stuff, their whole situation of being able to play the game online should be cut. Whoop, you're out of here. But that's the thing. And I get 2 squirts of a piss about video games anyways.
Right. No. But no, my point is that I think that shouldn't be said in gaming in general. But then when you're a professional, when you're a basketball player, because what people don't understand about when you reach that celebrity status, people look up to you, right?
Mm-hmm.
People start saying things that you say. People start acting how you act.
Right.
That can't be a role model for kids.
No, and the fact that he didn't just own it and say, man, that was just me being stupid. I was out of pocket for that. That was wrong. He said, I didn't know what the word meant. Why are you saying you're a grown man? Like, you're not a child.
Right.
Like you were explaining earlier, you're a grown man. So for you to go that route and be like, I didn't know what it meant. Come on, man. Maybe you shouldn't be saying things that you don't know what they mean. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. But anyways, we'd like to welcome on Sweet Lou Gaddis.
Sweet Lou.
Appreciate it, man.
All right, quickly, just before we get to the end, you heard what we were talking about, Lewis, the whole Miles Leonard thing. Do you have anything you want to say on that?
Yeah, I was listening to what you guys were saying. Yeah, I read about it, and I thought it was pretty crazy, to be honest, because I play video games and I don't really hear that stuff when I'm playing, but to see an athlete like that step out of his zone and talk like that was pretty eye-shocking to me. And little while ago, I was on social media and I saw Julian Edelman respond about it.
Yeah,
and
that's what we were talking about earlier, but yeah.
Yeah. But that was pretty big too.
I love it, man. I love it because I don't think Miles Leonard, I don't think he should be. I think he definitely needs to pay a price for just being unresponsible.
Well, his issue is he's going to pay the price by being out of a job because his owner's Jewish.
Yeah. my tough part is I don't want to see him pay for the rest of his life for this.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Here's
That's
my
a whole
question
other
to you.
ballgame.
Come out. Here's my question to you.
Yep.
Let's say that he somehow finds a way to stay with the Miami Heat. They suspend him, right?
Right.
Or he goes to another team. Washington Wizards rookie Denny Avdia is from Israel and is Jewish.
Right.
If they play in a game and the dude fouls him hard, is that going to be viewed as a pass?
No, they're gonna call if he blows on him, they're gonna call a flagrant 3. We know that. But hey, if he was to do that, for me personally, if he was to take a shot like that,
Here's how I view it, right? There's a player in your division that goes out on gaming and says the N-word. You're telling me that next time you play him, you're not going to do something to him like that? That's my point of view.
Oh no, hey, but you know what? I mean, that if you decide to take that opportunity to do that, then that's on you, and you
Right.
have to pay the consequences for whatever you decide to do. I'm not
Right.
going to sit here and say I agree with it or disagree with it. I mean, like personally, if James Harden would have did to me the way he did Houston, and it wasn't about him just leaving, he would have got flagrantly fouled. I know Lewis can agree with that because Lewis gets his foul on. So
He does get his foul, and I could second that statement.
Harden would have to look over his shoulder throughout that game after saying what he said and doing what he did, like the way he did it. That's just me. Now, I don't think he deserved to get elbowed in his head like when Metta World Peace gave him that elbow, but he would have.
Hey, listen, Metta
to
World
watch
Peace had
himself
something
do it.
going on. Hey, Metta World Peace had something going on upstairs that wasn't perfectly lined up in that game.
True, but I mean, I wouldn't say hit him like that. He could have killed him, but
He could've.
I got to bring it back to the 80s and foul him. Like I mean, like flagrant foul him. Like go ahead and take one. I might have to get kicked out of the game. Couple games for that. But that's just me. That's just
Exactly.
me. Bowser
All
Clark.
right. All right. We got to move on.
Mhm.
Let's stick with the NBA for one last thing. Then I want to jump to the NFL because obviously we got stuff to talk about. I mean, look how I'm dressed. And then we got a couple things I want to mention. So since Lou Gaddis is on, I sent this to Coach and Wes brought up a very good point. But Lewis, I want your opinion on this. There's rumors that the Celtics are expected to make a blockbuster move at the deadline to assist them on their playoff run this season. And Russell Westbrook was a popular name mentioned in trade talks. Do you see him going there? If so, how are they going to get him? Because they're going to have to give up the kitchen sink.
All right. So this has been a topic for a little bit that is aggravating me, to be honest. I want it to be over. I want them just to play. And this is the first time I heard about Westbrook though. But yesterday I was on Twitter with some random guy talking about a Vucevic for Rob Williams and Smart was a good trade. For me, as a Boston fan, Vucevic is a great player, but giving up a young talent and Rob Williams and one of the best defensive players in the league, Marcus Smart, up is too much for me. And picks, I personally wouldn't do it. And now Westbrook, they're gonna want some key players. They're gonna want.
But here's the thing: Washington's going young. So if you guys get Westbrook, one of the Wonder Twins, as Coach calls them, is gone. JT or JB, one of them is gone.
They're not letting them go from that.
They're not letting none of them go for nobody. Not even for Harden. They won't let them go.
So then Kemba's gone. Easy.
Mhm.
Kemba's gone if that's the case.
Kimba's on the chopping block.
But
Kemba
then,
been balling
besides,
lately.
but then the
Realize
issue,
that.
what?
Kimba been balling lately, just so everyone knows. He's
I know, I understand, but here's the thing. I could see Washington say, if you won't give them JB and JT, we want Kemba, we want Pritchard, and we want a pick. And I wouldn't do that if I was Boston.
I would give Kemba and Pritchard for Westbrook.
And a pick?
Pritchard, yeah, I would.
And a pick.
Mm,
The Celtics always
a
got
late
100
round pick. A late round pick.
Okay,
Because
would
we
you
have
give up Tice? Wait, would you give up Tice?
Ooh, for Vooch.
with who?
No, Tice involved
for
in that Russell Westbrook trade. Or for
With
Vooch.
the other two in it?
How about instead of Robert Williams, it's Tice, a pick, and Smart?
I'm not getting Smart for nobody, man.
I'm not giving Smart up either. Not doing it. But that's me if it was me.
By the way, Smart's back tomorrow night.
Yeah, they really realized how much they miss Marcus Smart, in my opinion. Like, He
Definitely.
went down, man, and their whole I don't want to say their identity went down, but their defensive identity definitely shifted.
Now watch that
Sometimes.
second lineup pick up now that he's back. Watch him run the
Sometimes.
show when Kimba's not in. It'll be
Anyway,
tough.
anyway,
For me, hang on. But for me, with Boston, you know where I'm gonna go with it. If I do any type of pick and it's a blockbuster, I'm trying to get Ben Simmons. You know what I'm saying? I'm giving up Kimba. I'm giving up a pick. I'm giving up maybe a pick or two, and I'll
Yeah.
give up Teague. Even I wouldn't want to give up Pritchard because I feel Pritchard's that JJ Barrera mainstay, can shoot it, can do what you need to do when your point guard is out. But man, I'd be really making a play for for Ben Simmons. But that's me.
I would throw in Romeo with that. Romeo or Carson. Personally, I love
Carson.
Tremont, so I wouldn't want to trade Tremont.
hey, would you trade Taco?
Taco? Nah. Taco's gonna get better. Watch.
Taco sells tickets.
Yeah.
Taco sells tickets. That's the big thing. By the way,
They
okay.
all love Taco though. They all Marcus Smart and then they all love Taco.
Of
Exactly.
course.
Talk's their guy. They call him Talk.
Yes,
But
sir.
anyway, switching over to the NFL, we'll get to the Dak thing in a second because that's going to be more me.
Wow. Man, we ain't gonna talk about the All-Star game at all.
Yeah. Actually, no, let's talk about that All-Star game. So first of all, I didn't watch the All-Star game. I don't really watch the All-Star festivities.
Really?
This is not really my thing, and especially this year.
Really?
However,
I would not expected that.
However, I think the All-Star teams were very unfair from the beginning. I think Team LeBron was way, way, way better. Especially, hold on, Lewis, especially once Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons couldn't play because of the cut. The second that happened, they are missing two starters. And you got Zion and Jason, and no disrespect to Zion and Jason Tatum, but they weren't starter worthy this year. Over KD and Joel Embiid, they weren't.
No,
And
that's true.
I think that really hurt. What?
That's fair.
I think that really hurt Team KD because you're looking at LeBron, Steph. First of all, LeBron and Steph showed what would happen if they ever teamed up in real life. I just want to make that
Can
clear.
you imagine?
They made that abundantly clear in the All-Star game what would happen if they both teamed up in real life.
Yeah, but LeBron didn't even really play. He chilled. He coached.
He coached, but anyway, so you got LeBron, you got Curry, you got Luka Doncic, you had Giannis, and you had Jokic, and then you had Dame Lillard as their sixth man.
Hey, if I was Luka, I would have as soon as they announced me as a starter, I'd have been like, switch it up. I'm gonna have Dame start. If Dame would have started that game, he would have really, really gave Giannis a run for his money on that for the MVP. Because Giannis,
I had him as my MVP.
yeah, I didn't because Giannis went 100%. Like that's and he made those threes, two of them off the glass. But
16 in an All-Star game is tough. He
yeah,
didn't make a shot.
Right. Hey, but the point I'm trying to make is that I think that the teams were a little unfair. If KD and Joel Embiid, maybe they would have been closer, but the thing that scared me was this.
Wait, you're thinking about Booker. That's another 20, 30 points. They
yeah.
didn't have Booker.
Right, but okay. And instead they got Mike Conley, which by the way, shouts out to Mike Conley, man. He deserved his All-Star game.
I can't believe he has never been to an All-Star game in 14 years in the
The
league.
one thing is this, though, a lot of people out west, especially in a state called Texas, were very upset that DeMar DeRozan didn't make the All-Star game after that.
Sounds
should've.
like you were a little upset about that, sir.
I was a little upset about it. I understand why Mike Conley made it. He deserved it, but dang, DeMar DeRozan's been hooping.
DeMar been to about 4 of them though.
Right. But anyways, main thing for me was this. Steph and LeBron showed us what would happen if they ever went on the same team. And it's scary.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
Never.
But anyways, did either one of you guys watch the dunk contest in full?
I
I
did.
watched all of it. Yep.
Did Anthony Simmons deserve to win?
I personally want him to win because I like him, but that one dunk where the guy put it through his legs, jumping off the same foot,
Yeah.
Cassius Stanley?
dunks I ever seen, man. And
Cassius
he got
Stanley?
robbed. He got like a 46 on it.
Was that Stanley?
Might have been Cassius Stanley, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, but then he missed his other dunks when he had opportunities to do some things. So he got robbed on that dunk for sure, but he didn't come through for the next one that he had. What's the name? Who's the cat? I don't know why I can't think of his name. He used to go to he went to Duke. Players can't stand him. He's always kicking people. He's slowed down, but
Grayson Allen.
Grayson Allen.
Grayson Allen.
Grayson he's the same one.
Yeah.
That's man. Him jumping off the same foot and putting the ball. He put the ball into that leg. Was it twice?
Wait, time out. He was at the dunk contest? I thought he wasn't.
No, Grayson Allen just was commenting on it on his Twitter or on something.
Oh.
And he was saying, man, the fact that this cat put the ball underneath the leg that he jumped off of. Did he do it twice?
Nah, so he when he jumped off his left foot, he
Mhm.
bounced it through his left leg and caught it with the left hand and dunked it.
Yeah.
And he only got a 46?
But
Yeah.
you can look at it like this.
Come
A
out.
week,
Wait,
a
wait,
week
wait,
before that, Levine just did it in the layup line.
Wait. I got a question.
We've seen it before.
By
That's
the
why he
way,
didn't-
that's my point about Levine. Was Dwayne Wade a judge at this
no.
dunk contest?
No.
Spud
Him
Webb.
and Shaq were live. Right? Weren't they on there talking about it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
What did
They
Dwayne
actually-
Wade say? Did
they
they give
actually
him a 9 or a 10?
they changed the final ruling because of him. By the way,
Because of Dwayne Wade.
yeah, they made it. They made it so they
Dwayne
don't
Wade's
do
never
that
going to
number.
live that down, man.
But Shaq supports him in it too all the time. So wait a minute. So the way they made the rule in the end was like they just picked their favorite dunk, the best dunk of the best dunk in the end. Is that how it worked? It did. And then
Yep. Yep, they picked a player instead of a number.
it should have been 2 more dunks as far as I was concerned.
Yeah, it was a halftime, so they did it quick.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah, I agree. Oh, and by the way, quick shout out to Domas Sabonis winning the skills. Man, the skills challenge is interesting. Now it's big men that are winning that. It's no longer guards.
Yeah. What happened with Anthony Towns. He won it one year.
Hey, so Luca got smoked by Sabonis, and Jalen Brunson tweets and says, "What happened, bro?" And Luca goes, "I hadn't stretched. My bad."
That's
he
a
got smoked by Sabonis. But and
One
then
comment- One
what?
comment D Wade made on that was Sabonis did stay on the left side the whole time, and he's a lefty, so
Hey,
that's an advantage.
still though, he won. He won though.
Hey,
That ain't against the rules. That ain't against the
Nobody paid
rules.
attention to that, right? No one paid attention. They could have been like, "We're going to switch you up on this side, on this one."
Yep,
And
And then-
Sabonis was behind. Was it him and Vooch that went?
yep.
He was behind Vooch, and Vooch had an opportunity to win and missed the buckets.
Yeah, exactly. And then that happened. And then, man, Steph Curry's last rack on that 3-point contest.
Yeah, that guy's ridiculous.
Because listen, Mike Conley was about to win that. if I'm
Yeah.
not-
Oh, do you see him and Donovan hoping so bad to do it for Utah because everybody been dogging Utah?
And then it didn't happen. They were like, dang.
Yo, they knew. They knew. They were
Hey,
like,
listen, man.
Curry's old, man.
Listen. Hey, speaking of Utah, if Utah gets the 1 seed, are they making it to the Western Conference Finals?
No,
Not a chance.
Are they out first round?
I love Fresh West said not a chance.
No. Here's the issue they have, right?
I won't say they won't make it. I hope they don't make it. Like I never want Utah to ever win a championship. Sorry. Sorry.
Here's the
I'm
thing.
with you, coach. I'm with you.
We've always hated Utah. Like when LeBron said that, man, he's right. Didn't nobody pick them? Don't nobody pick. I'm about to run with Utah. Don't nobody run with Utah in any of them games. And we hated Utah. Even when they had Carl and Stockton, shout out Stockton, Spokane, Washington, but
Hey, quick thing about Utah, though. And I'm going to call this right now. If Dallas doesn't get their stuff together and manages the 8th seed, Utah's losing in the first round to Dallas. Dallas can beat them as an 8th seed.
Dallas
Let's
has
not, like, that team is cold, man. That team is cold. Utah's cold. They're not 1 seed for no reason.
Wait.
Oh,
Okay, but here's my point. Phoenix realistically ain't going to keep the 2. Phoenix is probably going to be the 4. Let's be honest about it.
You never know.
The LA's okay, because here's the thing. If Phoenix gets the 2, then one of the LA's is the 4, and that's who beats Utah. But if Phoenix doesn't get the 2 and Phoenix gets the 4, there's a shot we could see Phoenix and Utah in the Western Conference semifinal, and Utah could win that series.
They could. But I don't think Utah is beating the Brooklyn Nets in a 7-game series.
In the finals? Hell no. They're getting swept. The brooms are coming out.
I don't know if they're getting swept. Utah's filthy. I can't for us. No one can sit here and deny that they're not filthy. I just don't see them
Okay,
winning.
hold on. And I'm gonna say something that's gonna sound like a LeBron comment, but I'm gonna be real with you. Utah has talent, but a lot of their team, and he doesn't get enough credit, comes down to Quinn Snyder, man. He is one hell of a coach.
Hey, look, you know where Quinn Snyder's from?
Washington.
Yes, sir. Mercer Island High School. Bring back our Sonics. You know what
And
I'm saying?
and listen, he's one hell of a coach.
Quinn Snyder was a hooper, man. He used to play for Duke, but he went to Mercer Island High School. He was one of the first. You know what I mean? Out of the town. Him and Doug Christie, man, they were like some of the first to come out of the town, man.
Doug Christie. Why does that name sound familiar?
Mm-mm.
But anyways,
Christie, man, that's the first cat to come out of Rainier Beach High School. You know, and
yeah.
Played for Sacramento. Went to the Lakers.
Right. All right.
Yeah.
That's our NBA for today, I think. We might come back to it later. But
Think we're
before
good.
I go anywhere else, I want to do my EJ's Nito stat of the night.
No. This is not TNT, and I'm not bagging on them cats. I love the show. The show is everything.
Listen, I know. I do that as a joke to get you going. No. This is
You got to have your own. You got to come up with your own.
this is okay. Funky Cold's fresh stat of the night. Decent. Anyways, this is about Coach's Raiders.
Oh, let's talk about it.
There's two things. I'm going to say something about the Raiders, but first I want to bring up this stat. Since 2016, Derek Carr has more game-winning drives, 19, than any other quarterback in the NFL.
Oh,
Hold on. He also has more losses, 41, than any other quarterback during that same span.
that hurts. So you just gave me a bitter, but sweet. You gave me a sweet.
No. Hold on. I gave you a sweet. Derek Carr is an underrated quarterback. I gave you reality. Your defense is trash.
Crashola.
I
Garbage.
give you-
Derek Carr is a good quarterback. I don't know why people be hating. Like, has he made some silly mistakes and done some stuff trying to do too much? Yes. But look at his stats. Look at his numbers. He's the all-time career passing cat on that team. I didn't even know that. I'm thinking Ken Stabler.
Nope, it's Derek Carr.
I'm thinking Plunkett. I'm thinking those guys. And, man, don't sleep on Derek Carr, man. Cats be hating on my guy.
And speaking
Get him a
of
D,
the Raiders,
bro. Get him a D.
speaking of the Raiders,
You
so
lost
this guy,
the O-line player too, Coach J.
hey, so
Mhm.
hey, we'll get to that. So this guy, Couch Report on Instagram, is doing his ideal offseason for every NFL team. He's done with the AFC. This is what he did for the Raiders. This is what he said, and I want to see how you feel about this. He said, trade right tackle Trent Brown for a second-round pick. You save $14 million in cap. He said, bring back Richie Incognito for $3 million. He said, re-sign wide receiver Nelson Aguilar on a 3-year, $24 million deal.
We need
Sign
that.
defensive tackle Devon Godchaux to a 3-year, $12 million deal. Sign Richard Sherman to a 2-year, $18 million deal.
Yes.
Sign free safety Marcus Williams to a 4-year, $38 million deal. Draft the defensive end Greg Rousseau from Miami with the 17th pick. Draft Jabril Cox with the 45th pick, which you get from the Browns in a trade. And draft offensive tackle Dylan Radnitz with the 48th pick. How do you feel about that?
I like all that he's talking about. I love the Sherman pickup. We definitely need to go after Sherman because Sherman will give us a couple good years.
And that free safety Marcus Williams, man.
Yeah. Where's he from?
New Orleans.
We need that. But what we really need, though, to really, really seal the deal is we need to figure out what's going on with Patrick P and get the OGs, have some OGs playing the corners because I'll take both of them cats. I just hope Patrick P ain't too expensive.
Patrick P gonna be expensive.
I'd love to get both them OGs, man. I'll take the OGs.
Yeah. Hey, and listen.
Malcolm Butler's floating around too. You know what I'm saying? So
Butler. Hey, listen, speaking of that, I'm just gonna run through the Pats ones for the Pats one real quick for Lou, and then the Browns one for Fresh, because he didn't put his Cowboys, but for the Pats, this is what he said. Some of these I don't agree with. He thinks the Pats should do as follows. He thinks the Pats should trade a 4th-round pick for Gardner Minshew. They should trade away Stephon Gilmore for a late 1st-round pick. They should extend J.C. Jackson for around $14 million a year. They should bring back Kyle Van Noy on a 2-year deal. They should sign Curtis Samuel to a 4-year deal. They should sign Romeo Onwara to a 3-year deal, defensive end for the Lions.
Mhm.
They should draft Jalen Waddle, the dude from Alabama, with the 15th pick. They should draft offensive tackle Christian Barmore with the 26th pick, which you get from the Gilmore trade. And they should draft tight end Brevin Jordan with the 47th pick from Miami.
I don't like Lewis. Before you go, bro, I don't like the quarterback selection they're trying to
Minshew, I don't like that either. Minshew's
the
not.
backup. But go ahead, Sweet Lou.
Yeah, I was gonna say that same thing. We need I said we bring back Cam 1 more year.
I agree.
I agree with that. Thank you. I think Cam needs 1 more year. Hey,
Give him-
Lou.
Give him 1 more year with that whole defense back.
Yeah.
Yes, and by the way, Lou,
How come sat out last year?
Lou, did you watch the I'm an Athlete podcast that Cam Newton did?
When was this?
Oh yeah. Peep that, Lou.
Peep that. It's I Am an Athlete podcast. It's Brandon Marshall, Chad Johnson, and
In the OG.
Fred Taylor, Fragile Fred.
Yeah. I won't tell Fred. Fred will
And
be-
first of all, Chad Johnson is a clown. And I said that on the other show. Chad
I
Johnson's
love
a
Chad
funny dude.
Johnson. You got to watch that, Lou. That one's in particularly like the
Yeah.
stuff he says about the Pats.
He has
that-
nothing but respect for Bill Belichick.
says about
Nothing
the
but
Pats
respect.
is huge. Like it really. If I'm the Pats, if I'm a Pats fan, I'm looking at what he said and I'm going, yeah, we got to give you at least 1 more year, bro.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not trading Gilmore
Gilmore.
either.
No, I disagree with that too. Yeah, I disagree with that too. By the way, the Browns one to me is the scariest one. And Fresh can input in his thing on this. But if this goes down for the Browns, they're Super Bowl contenders. And I'm not joking. Here's
All right.
why. This is what this guy says.
Who
He
is
says,
this guy?
This guy is like a guy that he has Couch Report on Instagram. He's like a football analyst. He looks at the stats. He looks at like salaries, everything.
Got you. I like what he said about my Raiders, but go ahead. Let's see if you can bless Fresh West.
He says, let defensive tackle Oliver Vernon walk. Sign Ndamukong Suh to a 1-year deal. Sign Jadeveon Clowney to a 1-year deal. Sign Brashawn Perriman to a 2-year deal. Sign free safety Jakaris Tart to a 2-year deal. Sign linebacker Levante David to a 3-year deal. Draft a linebacker, then draft Asante Samuel Jr.,
What?
and then draft a safety. The Browns, and you know what? The Browns have the salary cap to do every single one of those moves. And if their defense involves Ndamukong Suh, Myles Garrett, Jadeveon Clowney, and Levante David, they have the best defense in football, hands down.
One of them, for sure. Here's my thing with that, though. It sounds great. I like what this guy's saying, but the players are totally different animals in regards to signing for 1 year, signing for 2 years.
I understand, but hold on, Clowney was. But you're telling me that Clowney and Ndamukong Suh and Myles Garrett ain't a scary sight on that front line?
Of course it is, but getting them there is easier said than done. Like you know what I'm saying? Like he's saying the years that they should sign him for, which sounds great. But
Well,
as
here's
a
the
player,
thing. Let's say that this happens and the Browns go to like the AFC Championship game.
mhm.
You're telling me that those guys aren't going to want to play again? They'll want to resign.
Yeah, but I mean, these cats in the NFL, cats is looking out for their families. You know what I mean?
Not in this day and age. No one's going to sign a 1 or 2 year deal unless they're
Not
at the end of
those
their.
guys. Right. I mean,
Well, Wes, but time out. Those players would fit. Wes, would you let Oliver Vernon walk though?
Yeah, I'd be fine with that, but only if you could pick up the other ones. But no
Yeah.
one's going to sign them.
Yeah.
Will Sue leave the wasn't he on the Buccaneers?
yeah, but do you have a 1 year deal there with him?
Who? Sue? Yeah, Sue. Sue's contract's up and Levante. The Buccaneers have work to do. Sue's contract's up and Levante David's contract's up. And they
David's
were
not
both
going
key
there.
players in the Super Bowl run.
David's not going nowhere. He's going to resign, guaranteed.
If I'm
Everyone was about to
Sue, though, I'm
resign.
all good. I got my ring. I can dip.
I agree with that.
If I'm Sue, I'm trying to go.
That I agree with.
I'm Sue. I'm trying to go to the Seahawks for a year.
That I agree with. All right.
The reason I try to go to Seahawks if I'm him is he's a Portland head. He's basically coming back home. If he goes to play for Seattle, finished his career pretty much over there.
He's
He's
close
back
to
to the
100.
crib. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
I saw something about the Tampa trying to get Odell.
I did too.
Saw that?
That's Brady.
Hey, listen, if I'm Cleveland, I say I'll give you Odell for Levante David.
That's a lot of cooks in the kitchen though. On that receiver at the receiving core.
Goodwin and him? That's tough. And
No,
He
Goodwin,
wants
Mike
all
Evans,
from all the time.
Antonio Brown, and Odell.
Yeah, that's too much.
too much.
Like-
yeah.
And no, my biggest issue with that is, you know what is the problem with that receiving core? I'll give you a hint. The word starts, it's a 3-letter word that starts with E and ends with O. Ego. There's a lot of egos.
They did well last year, but trying to get you add one. They have the right amount. You put one more piece in there like that. He wants the ball. He would be good. I feel like the type of team that he could turn around, that Odell could go to.
New England.
Yeah, New England would be nice for him, but man, San Diego,
You're Los Angeles now.
Los Angeles.
Oh, because you give Herbert, Keenan Allen, and Odell. Damn.
To me, that would be like the spot.
That's problematic.
There'd
That's problematic.
be enough footballs to go around. You got to put him on a spot where where there's enough footballs to go around, and there's enough to where
Hold on.
What about Arizona?
D-Hop and Odell? I see that. Because Fitzgerald needs to retire. We've already discussed that.
Yeah.
But no, here was my point, Coach.
Mhm.
Would you take? Actually, I take that back. Odell in Las Vegas would get himself in a world of trouble.
Yeah, he'd be in trouble there. I don't know if he could mind his manners.
Yeah, but
I was talking to a guy I work with at school, and we were talking about it. I was like, we're getting rid of all our linemen, and I'm not really feeling that, but I get it. I think we get Aguilar back, and I think we kind of just run it back. I don't think we switch anything up at
I
all.
honestly think that the Sherman move is the move for you guys.
Yes. Well, I'm talking about offensively. We run it back. We get that lineman that dude was talking about. But I think
Incognito.
Yeah, I think we bring Richie back. He's been a model citizen the past couple of years.
Yeah,
Bring him back.
after he had that incident.
Yeah, bring him back. Get that one cat in there talking about it. They can get him. But I think this year is going to be a breakout year for what's the name from I just talked about him the other day. Our receiver, the young cat that was a rookie,
Henry Ruggs.
Henry Ruggs. Yeah, I think it'll be a breakout year for him. I like Renfro. I would. Did anyone swoop up Ertz? Because I might grab Ertz and.
No, you know what I heard where
that?
Ertz could go? Reunite with Carson Wentz in Indy. And Frank Reich. Frank Reich. You forget about that.
I wouldn't mind having Ertz.
Because Ertz and Wentz are like this.
Yeah. Wouldn't mind having Ertz in a Raiders uniform. And in that way, you could do a lot more tricky stuff with that beast, that other beast.
Hey, whatever happened, you guys had Jason Witten for a year, right?
Yeah. He retired.
Yeah. And then he went back to the booth. Anyways, we got 2 things left in the NFL I want to talk about. I've got that wide receiver list I want to surprise you with, and then we got to talk about that. And then I think we're all set. So this wide receiver list, same dude that we had the running backs list with, where he put Marshall Faulk at 20th, and same dude that put Kurt Warner at 19. This wide receiver list is a little better, I think. Top 20 wide receivers of the 21st century, so 2000s and on. His honorable mentions are as follows: Mike Evans, Deshaun Jackson, Dez Bryant, Odell Beckham Jr., Mike Thomas, and Emmanuel Sanders. This is his top 20. Number 20, he has T.Y. Hilton. Number 19, he has Isaac Bruce. Number 18, he has Jordy Nelson. Number 17, he has A.J. Green. 16, he has D-Hop. 15, he has Donald Driver. 14, he has Derek Mason. 13, he has Hines Ward. 12, Marvin Harrison. 11, Chad Johnson. 10, Reggie Wayne. 9, Torrey Holt. 8, Steve Smith Sr. 7, Antonio Brown. 6, Terrell Owens. 5, Andre Johnson. 4, Julio Jones. 3, Larry Fitzgerald. 2, Calvin Johnson. And at number 1, he has Randy Moss. This is my first question, my first thought. And I want to see what you guys think about this. The fact that Brandon Marshall doesn't even make honorable mention makes me scratch my head.
It's a slap in the face, for sure.
Brandon Marshall should be on this list, but he should at least be an honorable mention.
I don't know why they keep putting Reggie Wayne ahead of Marvin Harrison.
Right. And I mean, people said that the Marvin Harrison disrespect is goofy. That's what comments are saying. Marvin Harrison at 12 over Reggie Wayne.
Marvin Harrison's top 5. We need to discuss this. I mean, this is going to be a long process. Keep those. I really want to discuss this in our next episode.
All right. So you want to do the Dak piece first?
I do want to get this Dak piece in with you and finish it up from that point.
Because that list has a lot of, I can send you this list after if you want to look at it over to think about some stuff. But
yeah, please do that. And then I also know next episode, ladies and gentlemen, we're definitely going to bring Mr. Gaddis back. Sweet Lou, we're going to bring him back.
And I'm going to be DJing because I'm going to bring in the March Madness theme song to enter the show.
We're going to do a bracket. Lewis is going to do our brackets with us. We're going to do a bracket. And Lewis, we want to shout out a couple of our hometown girls that are playing in the tournament.
Oh yeah, for sure. Mackenzie Holmes at Indiana.
From the 207. She's out in Indiana putting in work, doubling, right?
Work this year. Might have to throw that out there.
Big Ten first team and Big Ten all defensive team for her.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
She'll
And
go
you
to the
got-
WNBA.
And you got DeWolf that won
Anna DeWolf.
Anna
Yeah.
DeWolf won co-player of the year.
Okay.
What?
Co-player of the year, freshman year.
I mean, I'll give her respects, even though she's from my rival high school. I'll give her respects.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. Anyone that comes out of Maine is doing something like that, man, because we don't get many. You know what I mean?
don't get many. But anyways, so we have that. That'll be next week. Now, the Dak Prescott piece. So you
Yeah.
guys see how I'm dressed. I'm not shy about hiding it. I'm a Cowboy fan. Like on my screen, the man to the left of me, Coach Jay Jacks. We've gone through some tough years recently.
Rough times.
And-
Lewis knows something about that.
Yeah, Lewis was born. Patriots were good. This year they go 7-9, and people are saying, "Oh, this is terrible. We need to rebuild our whole team." Blah. Listen, man,
You don't know struggle, Lewis.
no struggle.
When
Real
is win,
Patriots
Coach Jay?
fans no struggle. They
When is
remember
win?
when
I get it.
you're a
I get
Patriot,
it.
they get free.
I get it. My Cowboys have 5 rings. Since I've been a Cowboy fan, we've gone past the first round of the playoffs twice. So I ain't seen much. And I think Coach Jay Jacks can say he's seen 1 Super Bowl, right?
Tom
No,
Brady's daughter has held more than half the team. So
Who?
Tom Brady's daughter has held the trophy more than half the teams.
All right. You can stop. But
Tom
anyway,
Brady plays for Tampa Bay. That's what I need Pats fans to understand. He don't play for you no more.
Nah, he still got us those rings though. We gotta respect him.
He did, but he don't play for you no more.
We got Cam. Cam's our guy.
I like that. But go ahead.
anyways, so here's the thing. And I'm going to be straight up about it. And I'm going to take the hat off for this because this is a serious conversation. That got 4 years, 160 million, 125 guaranteed.
That's 40 million a year he's getting.
But apparently the first year it's 70 million. That's what I've heard.
75, right?
Yes. Here's the thing I'm going to say. Props to Dak Prescott because he deserves. If you want to talk about a model citizen, a nice guy, Dak Prescott's in that category. Great dude. Everyone loves him. Great teammate. But here's my issue with it. I don't have an issue with the Dak deal. I have an issue with what it took to get to the Dak deal. You overpaid Amari Cooper. You overpaid Ezekiel Elliott. And you overpaid DeMarcus Lawrence in the process before you paid Dak Prescott. And I don't think, I'll bring up this stat. The highest paid quarterback in 2021, this upcoming season, there is one quarterback that's making more money than Dak Prescott next year. And it's Pat Mahomes.
Yeah, definitely.
That's it. That is it. And is Dak Prescott the number 2 quarterback in the league? No, he's not. Is he worth top 5 money? In my opinion, yes, he is. Here's the thing, though. if I'm Dak Prescott, it's pretty simple. You got the money you wanted, you got the money you deserved, because basically we saw what happened when Dak went down. Jerry thought Andy Dalton was going to work. He's like, oh, if Andy Dalton works, I'll just sign him and not sign Dak. Andy Dalton didn't work. Plain and simple. So you get Dak the money. All right. If I'm Dak Prescott, I'm holding a players only meeting and I'm bringing in Princess Leia Buns, Zeke. I'm bringing in Amari Cooper and I'm bringing in DeMarcus Lawrence, especially. And I'm saying, listen, with our talent, especially on the offensive side of the ball, is no comparison to anybody else in our division. No comparison. Think about it. They should win their division hands down, no problem. Lose maybe one game total. One slip up to the Giants or the Eagles or Washington as they always do. I'm sitting down and I'm saying, listen, this is what we need to do. The second thing I'm doing is this. I'm saying, all right, we've paid all these max deals, so we're in trouble financially. You got to go as management. You got to, if he's on the board, you have to go Patrick Surtain, cornerback from Alabama. You got to get secondary. You got to build that because you have the linebackers. Van Der Esch is good. Jalen Smith is good. Front line's okay, but people were burning you on the secondary. And by people, I mean Fresh West's dude Baker Mayfield. That was the hardest game to watch this year, was that Browns-Cowboys game, because we got burned by wide receivers throwing the football too. So you got to fix that secondary. And I think if they can focus on that, they're good. But what's interesting to me is this. Back to my point about the cap hits, right? NFC East offseason cap hits. $57.9 million between Prescott, Cooper, and Zeke for the Cowboys. 26.3 between Daniel Jones, Sterling Shepard, and Saquon Barkley for the Giants. 4.2 between Heineke, McLaurin, and Gibson for Washington. And 3.7 between Hurts, Fulgham, and Sanders for Philly. So all those teams can build up their weaknesses however they want. So if you're Dallas, you've spent all these money on these dudes. It's time to get your money's worth out of them. And it's time to start playing. Because I'm not going to be those Cowboy fans that say we go to the Super Bowl, because I'm a realist Cowboy fan, just like the man next to me is a realist Raider fan. Even if they went and got Tom Brady and Odell Beckham Jr., he wouldn't be saying anything about a Super Bowl.
No.
Because he knows how the Raiders defense rolls.
Yes.
Just like I know how my Cowboy defense rolls. That's the fact of it. And by the way, I'm going to say this, quick side note, then I'll get back to it. Y'all need to get rid of Rob Marinelli. He didn't work for us, and he ain't working for you guys. That's my point on the Raiders real quick.
Yeah,
But anyway.
Raheem.
But anyway, that's what's interesting to me. The other thing that's interesting to me is this, and then I'll get to a dash stat. This is a quick intermission for a stat. Crazy but true stat, and I want both of you guys' opinion on this. Despite being drafted in 2016, Ezekiel Elliott has the most rushing yards in the NFL since 2014 by 302 yards.
Wow. He's got to have a breakout year this year.
Well, the thing for Zeke is this. Zeke loves going behind an offensive lineman and then going through a gap. And the offensive line was not healthy this year. I don't think they had all 5 starting offensive linemen one time. I think he's due for a breakout year, especially now that Dak got paid. But I want to pull up this stat about Dak. This is comparing Dak's first 69 starts to one of top 3 quarterback of all time, Peyton Manning's first 69 starts.
Hold on. Before you do that, back to Zeke. One thing they need to do with Zeke, too, is he needs to carry the ball 20 times a game. They got away from that.
Because Dak is throwing the ball 60 times a game.
They've got away from giving him the ball consistently, man. And it's hard to get going when you touch it 13 times a game, one game, and then 20 the other. And then
the other issue is this. He'll touch it like 5 times on the first drive in the first quarter.
And then won't touch it again.
And then he'll touch it once until the third quarter.
You're right. I'm not making up excuses for him because he got paid.
I agree, but the point I'm trying to make is this. You can't expect a running back. You run him into the ground in the first quarter. Then he doesn't see it in the second quarter. You can't expect him to come out in the third quarter and be ready to go when he hasn't ran the ball for 30 minutes.
Right. That's real.
That's on your defense, though.
Yes, it is.
It is.
He's only run the ball 6 times if you guys are down 14, 21 points.
You're right. You're right. Then you got to be in the air.
Yeah.
But, you want to keep them off balance. You got to mix that up and still, don't get away from what gets you, from what's got
because,
you.
Hey, Zeke can get 15 yards on run. So.
Yeah.
But
You're
anyway, To the Prescott and Peyton stats. This is first 69 starts. TD to interception ratio. Dax is 106 TDs to 40 interceptions. Peyton's is 120 to 86. Passing yards, 17,634 for Dak, 17,698 for Peyton. Completion percentage, 66 for Dak, 61.3 to Peyton. Win percentage, 61% for Dak, 52% for Peyton. Quarterback rating, 97.3 for Dak, 85.6 for Peyton. And records, by the way, Peyton's is 36 and 33, Dak's is 42 and 27.
That's crazy. That's an interesting stat. Because I love me some Peyton Manning, but I love him as a person more than I love him as probably he'd be having me dying. But that's, man, that says something.
All I'm gonna say is this, and I touched up on this before the show with Coach. I'm not Michael Irvin. I'm not going out here and saying that Dak is a Tom Brady or a Peyton Manning type. Because I told Coach very clearly what I thought Michael Irvin's doing again for him to be saying that. But that's just me. I think that Dak is underappreciated. And everyone's saying, well, look what he did this year. Okay, before Dak got injured, their offense was putting up 30 some odd points a game. Their defense was just allowing more. You can't pin that on him. He was balling.
He wasn't. I don't think he was underappreciated. He got what he wanted. I think they were just the organization was dumb. Oh, this is what he wanted the whole time. He wanted a 4-year deal. They kept trying to force him to have a 5-year deal. And he was like, no, just let me get the 4. Let me get the bread. They could have did that.
And then the other thing about that is this, that people don't forget. And I'm glad you have that door shut upstairs, because I can say this and not feel like I'm gonna get a response in the background. He did his thing in the playoffs when they played Seattle, man. They needed him to show up, and he outdueled Seattle, and their defense was still good. He's proven. I understand that they lost in the Rams game, but there was a lot of things that went wrong in the Rams game. And I know they lost to the Packers when Aaron Rodgers went down. That was the defense. The offense left them too much time. That was poor clock management, and that was the defense's fault too.
He's never usually the reason for their losses, basically.
Yeah, he's especially in playoff games. It's never been his fault. Never.
Right. Hey, Fresh, I know you were about to say something, bro. I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
No, I just wanted to ask about the Peyton Manning stats. Is that based on Dak starts? Because that in my mind's a little skewed.
That's both of their
first 9 starts.
Yeah, both their first 69 starts
in their career.
Yeah,
so that's still a little skewed, isn't it? Because Peyton got drafted number 1, so he goes to the worst team in the league, which was Indianapolis. So his first 69 starts are going to be different than Dak's.
Right, but I'm pretty sure Dak got drafted the year that Zeke went top 4, I think. But I see your point. Dak, the past couple years,
there, right?
the past couple years, Dak's had some filthy wide receivers. I'll give you that. But still.
Hey, that is a good point. But it didn't take Peyton too long. I mean, how long was it before Peyton had Marvin Harrison?
Not very long. And then he had Reggie Wayne.
Yeah, that'd be a good stat to look up next week. Make sure you look up, or when we get back on.
Hey, yes.
When did how deep into those 69 games was he before he got those cats?
And by the way, my last stat is this. And this is a guessing game for you guys. It's a pretty easy one in my opinion, but here's this. There was 22 quarterbacks drafted in 2015 and 2016. 22. Only one of them remains on the team that drafted him. Any takers?
I'm going to say Derek Carr.
Lewis?
Watson?
You're looking at him right there. Dak Prescott.
What year did my boy Derek get drafted?
Not 2015 or 16. I think it was, hold on, I'll check.
The league before then?
Think so.
Watson get drafted.
Watson was 17, I think.
Oh, okay.
17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So Derek been in the league 7 years?
Derek Carr was drafted 2014.
Okay. That's why. All right.
Yeah, so no, Dak is the only one. And notable quarterbacks that are on this list, some of them I don't even know, are Jameis Winston, Mariota, Jacoby Brissett, Carson Wentz, Jared Goff. And y'all remember the hype that was around EJ Manuel, right?
Yeah. He was filthy down there at Florida State, but I know what you're saying.
Those are some of the names. So yeah, Dak's the only one left drafted in those years. And by the way, I want to make a point quickly about Dak. The reason, like, Dak is the only other Cowboy player apparel I have is number 9, and it's a jersey from way back then.
You're a Romo cat?
Romo's the reason I started liking him, but here's the thing. I like Dak so much to the point where I was ready to be done with the Cowboys if they did him dirty this offseason. That's why I'm happy for Dak. Because I was like,
you were on your Skip Bayless tip then, huh?
kind of. But listen, as we all know, and I'm going to bring it out early, I can really quickly turn over to my Stephen A. Smith game. You know what I'm saying?
This guy right here. So, anyways, shout out to Dak Prescott for getting his bread, doing what he needs to do.
And listen, if Derek Carr starts having a good year, he deserves his bread too. Because
he's already getting his bread.
That is very interesting. That is very interesting. The fact that he's had the most game-winning touchdown drives, but he's also had the most losses.
Yeah.
All that tells me is your defense ain't good.
Garbage.
And I remember you telling me our defense is trash. And I'm like, what is this dude talking about? And I turn on I think it was the end of the Jets game. I turned that on and I'm like, man, if Henry Ruggs didn't catch that ball,
horrific.
I see exactly
how poor our defense is.
Oh, and then the other game that showed it to me was the second LA game that LA won.
Yeah, trash. We're trash.
Because Mullins just
got work to do.
Listen,
got work to do.
Listen, man. I think the first move you guys need to do is let Mullins go.
Mm-hmm.
Because once you pointed it out to me, I looked. This dude, if the ball's going more than 20 yards and that receiver's running, he's holding it every time. Every time.
Hey, Mullins is terrible. I mean, I don't even want to get into it. You know,
listen, you're a DB's coach, so that must just hurt you to watch.
It does, man, because I'm like, man, you don't have that enough faith in yourself to just kind of, run with this cat. Just run with him. If he beats you, he beats you. But man, we got every once in a Smurf blue moon, we'd had their quarterback on the run, and the ball wouldn't even be coming to this cat. And he's
you know what's funny? I was watching. I think it was that Raiders Chargers game. I think he had 2 penalties.
Yeah,
and I remember I was texting you. I watched you. I watched the game, and it's a late game, and I see a flag. I text you. I say, "Is this one on Mullins?" You go, "Definitely." Holding 25. I was like, "Yep." Next play, I go, "This one's on Mullins." I didn't even see the play. I just knew where they were throwing it, where he was lined up, what it was going to be.
Yeah, he likes to grab, and the thing that's crazy is he's an athletic cat. He just needs to have some faith in himself, and he doesn't have enough. Not enough to be on my defense, man. You're gonna get as a DB. That's the hardest position on the field, my opinion.
Listen, we don't want him in Dallas either, man. New England can take him, but I don't want him in Dallas either.
He'll go to New England and ball. That's the problem.
He'll go to New England. Belichick will sit him down, and he'll be a top 5 corner in 3 years.
Hey, Lewis, you were about to say something earlier, bro. What were you about to say?
Oh, I was gonna ask, paying Dak all that money, you think he's gonna be the same player he was last year? That's
what everyone's saying. And that's the one risk that they took. But Dak's young. And people say that it was very similar to a Theismann injury, like with Alex Smith, but it wasn't as bad as what Alex Smith had. He didn't have the infection. If Alex Smith could come back from that injury, Dak can, but here's the point that I'm trying to make.
Why is that though?
Dak's a young dude. Dak works hard. And the medicine now and the surgery is way better. I think Dak is going to come back from it. I really do. And I hope he does. Because he's the quarterback. If the Cowboys were to somehow win a Super Bowl in the next 5 years, and I'm not saying they will, I'm saying somehow were to win a Super Bowl. So when they get knocked out in the first round, I don't want people to say you had them winning the Super Bowl, because I don't. That's the dude I would want to lead us to win a Super Bowl. And I think he'll be fine. I think he'll be able to come back this year and be good. It was a freak action.
I think he'll be ready. They said he is way ahead of schedule. Like
he was last year. They said that if the Cowboys made the playoffs, and somehow made a run, he could have played in like the second round.
No,
they said maybe.
Yeah, I wouldn't be doing that, but
I wouldn't.
And I guarantee you, the Cowboys have done their due diligence. Like You
Hey,
know,
listen,
you got somebody.
listen. The one thing that I am very happy about Jerry Jones, because Jerry Jones cares about two things: himself and his money. And I am glad that Jerry Jones paid this man because he deserved to be paid.
Should have paid him before. Like, I mean, all he wanted was 4 years. He ended up getting everything he wanted anyways.
Here's the thing: you should have paid him because all you did was you waited 3 more years. And in the process, you gave a max to DeMarcus Lawrence, Amari Cooper, and Zeke Elliott. Through all 3 players had one of their worst statistical seasons of their career last year. And I know you're laughing, Coach, at that Amari Cooper contract right now because he used to be your guy.
We let him go for a reason, man.
The thing with Amari Cooper is
Amari
this.
Cooper's trash. Amari Cooper just if you put the right cat on him and guard him, he's not the same receiver.
Here's the other issue about Amari Cooper. He's an Andrew Wiggins. He's talented. He just doesn't put the work in all the time. Watch him run some of his routes. Sometimes he's just jogging. He's not full sprinting every route.
Yeah, hey, and Wiggins, man, shout out to Wiggins. He's found his niche, man. He realizes, let me be that third guy. I'm gonna get you that.
By the way, here's my hot take of the day. And I know Lewis loves hot takes. 2 years' time, CeeDee Lamb will be the Cowboys' #1 receiver and will be a top 10 or top 15 receiver in the league.
I don't disagree with that. Especially with having Dak that's gonna be making sure he gets the ball.
Because Dak loved throwing the ball to CeeDee Lamb.
That freshman class this year was ridiculous anyways.
People say it's a toss-up between Justin Jefferson. Here's the thing. The only reason CeeDee Lamb didn't win, I'm not saying he would have won rookie of the year, but the only reason he wasn't the best wide receiver rookie this year is because the dude went through like 5 different quarterbacks. Because when CeeDee Lamb had Dak, he had more receiving yards than Justin Jefferson.
I don't know if I can give him all that. I just know Justin Jefferson showed out, but that's just me.
He did, but they're both
gonna have a decent season next year
in 3-year time. CeeDee Lamb and Justin Jefferson are top 10 wide receivers, easy
if they stay healthy, for sure.
Yeah.
Hey, gentlemen, let me put you up on some game.
Yes, please.
Termites eat through wood 2 times faster when listening to rock music.
Damn. Are you serious?
Where you find this, Coach?
Are you serious?
Hey, man, these are just real facts, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Hey.
Get their grub on when they, you know what I'm saying? When they listen to that rock.
Hey, listen. Listen. Coach Jay Jackson. Funky Cole Medina, last episode, but this is all I got to say before we sign off.
Hey, that album's going to be fire.
We're going to talk about music later.
Yes. Hey, so shout out to Lewis for coming on with us. Lewis is gonna be hosting with us. When we going on again?
Next week. Next Wednesday if we can.
Yeah, because that's right before the.
That's right before the first day, the last for that last day right there. It's
all right. Hey, so we might let's talk about it. We'll talk. About
what I'm thinking we should do is whoever has the best bracket out of the 3 of us, and Wes can be involved too, the 4 of us.
Wes is involved. That's the man behind the boards.
Whoever gets the best bracket needs to win some sort of prize. And I'm not saying money prize. I'm saying some sort of prize. Because if we got to play for something, y'all already know that I'm not putting Virginia past my Elite 8. Because after they screwed me that year when they lost as the 1 seed, Virginia ain't my squad anymore. So I'm already going to be playing psychological games, but I'm just saying there needs to be some sort of incentive.
Oh, we could do an adult beverage. If there's a wine, we could do wine. If you're a wine guy and you want wine, if you like some brew and you want a special type of brew.
I feel you. Something, man. Something.
If you don't want an adult beverage, if you want to act like, if you got a certain drink.
Hey, listen, Coach, we could do the Mike Wells bet that he had with that cat from ESPN, but that's a $100 bottle of wine. I don't know if I'm willing to fist that or to bring that money out.
Yeah, man. It's all. I think we'll get together off camera, man. Figure out how much money we want to put in.
Yeah.
You and that, Lewis? You old enough? You legal?
I'm with it.
All right, we'll put some money together. Maybe I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Anyway, thank you for tuning in to the 10th episode of the Coffee Table Podcast. We'll be back next week with our special host, Lou Gaddis, for Funky Cole Medina, for Jay Jack. By the way, repping the Blow Dutch in this t-shirt. I see you.
Oh yeah,
The Blow Dutch in this t-shirt.
you know, put my collar on him.
Have
Hey,
a-
man, hey, please hit that like and subscribe
Please
button.
hit that like and subscribe button. We know Lou's gonna do his thing to get this out to his people because Lou be doing that for us. Lou's a day one supporter.
Yeah.
Everyone, have a blessed weekend, and we'll see you next week.